You have been eating less, you have been walking more, and the scale has not moved in months. Maybe it has actually gone up, and you are standing in front of the mirror feeling like your own body has turned against you. If that sounds familiar, you are not imagining it, and it is not your fault. Here is what nobody told you. After 50, your body stops responding to the same rules. The things that worked in your 30s and 40s, they do not work the same way anymore. And the belly fat, the bloating, the cravings, the low energy, those are not signs of weakness. They are signs that something hormonal is happening inside you. Today, I am going to show you 3 specific foods that work with your body instead of against it. Foods that naturally support the same metabolic process that the Ozempic shot is famous for. No injection, no side effects, no prescription. Stay with me, because this is one of the most important things you will hear this year. I have spent years working with women just like you. Women who have tried every diet. Women who have done everything right. And women who were told by their doctors that slowing metabolism after 50 is just normal, just accept it. I refuse to accept that, and I hope you do too. What I have seen working with women in their 50s, 60s, and even late 60s is this. The body is not broken. The strategy was wrong. That is a very different problem, and it has a very different solution. You are in the right place today, because we are going to talk about real biology, real food, and real results for real women, not the ones on magazine covers, but the ones living full, busy, complicated lives, just like you. Let me paint a picture. You open your closet, your favorite jeans are there, you put them on and they feel different, tighter in the waist, and you have not changed what you eat. At least, not much. You feel tired by 2 in the afternoon. You crave something sweet even when you just ate. And at night, you lie awake even though your whole body feels exhausted. Sound familiar? Here is what is actually happening inside your body. When estrogen starts to decline, which happens naturally around perimenopause and menopause, your cells start to respond differently to insulin. Insulin is the hormone that tells your cells to absorb sugar from your blood. When your cells stop listening to that signal well, your body keeps producing more and more insulin trying to get through. Think of it like knocking on a door that nobody answers, so you knock louder and louder. That extra insulin tells your body to store fat, especially around your belly. That is not a willpower problem. That is biology. And here is the part that no one talks about. The medication Ozempic works by mimicking a hormone called GLP-1. That hormone slows digestion, reduces appetite, and helps your body respond better to insulin. It is powerful, but it also comes with real side effects. And it is expensive. What most women do not know is that certain foods can trigger the same GLP-1 response naturally, not in a gimmicky way, in a real, research-backed way. Because in a moment, I'm going to show you exactly which 3 foods do this, and why most women over 50 are not eating enough of them. CTA Intermediario. But before we continue, if you are a woman over 50 and you recognize these symptoms, I want you to do something for me right now. Drop a comment below and tell me what city you are watching from. I love knowing where my community is. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now, because I share tips every week specifically for women who want a better quality of life after 50. Okay, now let's get into it. Before I give you the 3 foods, I need to clear something up. Because there are 2 myths that may be keeping you stuck right now. The first one is this: eat less and move more. That sounds like common sense. And for younger bodies, it can work. But for a woman over 50 with shifting hormones and slower metabolic signaling, cutting calories too low actually backfires. Your body reads that as stress. It raises cortisol. And cortisol tells your body to hold on to belly fat for survival. You end up exhausted, hungry, and no lighter. The second myth is that low-fat diets are better. This one has been around since the 1980s, and it is still causing damage. When you remove fat from food, something has to replace the flavor. That something is usually sugar or refined starch, and both of those spike insulin fast. For a body that is already struggling with insulin sensitivity, that is like adding fuel to the fire. You have been working so hard, and the strategy was wrong, not you. Now let's talk about what actually works. 3 foods, 3 reasons, and 1 thing you can do starting today. The first food is resistant starch. This is starch that your small intestine cannot fully digest. It passes through and feeds the good bacteria in your gut. And here is the important part. Resistant starch directly stimulates GLP-1 release. That is the same hormone Ozempic mimics. Where do you find it? Cooled cooked potatoes, cooled cooked rice, green bananas, cooked and cooled oats. The cooling process changes the starch structure. It becomes resistant. You can warm it back up gently, and it keeps the benefit. The second food is legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas. These are slow digesting, high fiber, and they keep blood sugar steady for hours. Research shows that women who eat legumes regularly have lower fasting insulin levels. They also feel fuller longer. That means fewer cravings at 3 in the afternoon. Start with half a cup a day. Add them to a salad. Mix them into soup. Small step, real impact. The third food is fermented food. Things like plain Greek yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut. Your gut microbiome, the community of bacteria living in your digestive system, plays a direct role in how your body produces GLP-1. A healthier gut means better hormonal signaling. 1 small serving a day is enough to start making a difference. Your quick win for today: eat a small bowl of lentil soup with dinner tonight, or add a spoonful of sauerkraut to whatever you are already having. That is it. That is your first step. One woman I worked with, she was 61, told me she had tried everything and nothing would ever work again. A few months after making small changes like these, her energy came back. Her clothes started fitting differently, and she told me she finally felt like herself again. That is what this is really about. I know what some of you might be thinking right now. Maybe you are thinking, I have tried everything. I have done clean eating, keto, intermittent fasting, and nothing worked. I hear you. I really do. But here is the difference. Those approaches were not designed specifically for the hormonal environment of a woman over 50. What we are talking about today is, this is about working with your biology, not fighting it. Or maybe you are thinking, my doctor told me this is just normal aging, and maybe your doctor meant well. But normal does not have to mean permanent. Your body is not broken. It is asking for a different kind of support. And you are allowed to give it that. You deserve to feel good in your body. At 50, at 60, at any age. I want you to close your eyes for just a second. Imagine waking up tomorrow with real energy, not the coffee-dependent kind. Real energy. You get dressed and your clothes feel comfortable. You go through your afternoon without that desperate craving pulling at you. You feel clear. You feel like yourself. That is not a fantasy. That is what happens when your body finally gets the right signals. We talked about resistant starch, legumes, and fermented foods. 3 simple additions. No surgery, no shots, no side effects. Just food working the way it was always meant to work for your body. Now here is what I want you to do. Leave a comment below. Tell me if you recognized yourself in this video. Tell me if you have ever been told to just eat less and move more, and it never worked. I read every single comment, and your experience matters here. And one more question before you go. Which of these 3 foods are you going to try first? Tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to know. Next week, I am going to talk about the specific morning habit that helps women over 50 lower cortisol before 9 a.m. You do not want to miss that one. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your health seriously. You are not alone in this. And remember, your body is not broken. It just needed the right conversation.